Hi, in this video, we will talk about logging in REST assured. So first see what is logging, then we'll see how many ways you can log, what kind of information you will log using REST assured, we will see. Okay, so logging in REST assured refers to the capability, okay, capability of capturing and recording. Logging in REST assured refers to the capability of capturing and recording HTTP request and response details during the API testing. Okay, it is the capability of capturing the HTTP request and response details. Okay, so the purpose of logging in REST assured is to provide visibility and transparency. Okay, visibility and transparency into the interactions between your test code and the API which you are testing, otherwise under test. Okay, the purpose of logging in REST assured is to provide visibility and transparency into the interactions between your test code and the API under test. Okay, so logging allows us to, the first point is debugging. Okay, debugging means identify and troubleshoot issues by examining request and response details Okay, identify and troubleshoot issues by examining request and response details. And second is troubleshooting. Okay, troubleshooting means diagnose test failures and understand API behavior. Okay, so diagnose test failures and understand the API behavior. So another one is verification, means ensure correct requests are sent and expected responses are received. Okay, ensure correct requests are sent, and expected response are received. So auditing purpose, the auditing, maintain a record of API interactions for auditing purposes. Okay, so and performance monitoring. Okay, and another one is performance monitoring. What it will do, it will monitor response times and other metrics to identify performance issues. Okay, so it will monitor response times and other metrics to identify performance issues. This is brief information about logging in REST assured. So we'll actually get into the REST assured and see what kind of information we can log and how we can log that information. Okay, so first let me go to Eclipse. Here I created a class called logging in REST assured, and I created multiple methods to see different type of logins. Okay, so log all request. Okay, I want to log all request information. So how can you do that? Okay. So let me take one simple example. I'll create a JSON object. JSON object. User data is equals to new JSON object. User data dot put. So I'll put name. I'll just mention Krishna. And user data dot put job. I'll say tester. Okay. So what API I'm going to take rest assured dot given, and then I am performing a post request. Okay, I'm performing a post request. Then I'll have something to send from the request. Okay, so the content type is content type dot JSON, and the body, and the body is user data dot toString, and then I want to log this information. What information I'm sending? A log dot all. Okay, I want to log everything. When you perform which action? Post action. Okay. When you perform post action, what is that post? So let me copy that. So request response dot request res dot in dot slash API slash users. So for this, I'm posting that, and you can say then you can say status code 201. Usually it will create a resource, right? So this is how. If you want to use JSON, what we need to do? Need to add JSON dependency. Okay. So if you want to use JSON object class, you need to add JSON dependency that we already added in our previous videos. Okay. So JSON object user data is equal to new JSON object. I need to send this information to create a user. So here I'm logging the information in the for the request. Okay. So if you run this, you see that? If you observe, so this is the information. What is that request method is post. Request URI is this one. Proxy none, request parameter. I'm not sending any request parameters. There are no query parameters. There are no form parameters. There are no path parameters. But in the headers, it is just accepting everything. And the content type is application JSON. No cookies, no but body is, you see, this is the body. We will send in the postman. Right? If you look into the postman, then we'll send in this body. Right. So this is the body we are sending in the request. So I'm logging everything from the request. If you have anything, these things, that is also, if you have query parameters, that also it will print here. But I do not have anything. So because of that, it is saying none. But from the request, what request it is sending, so that all information it is printing. Okay. So this is how you need to use log.all at your request, not on the response. Okay. When you perform something, it will return response. Then you can log later. But if you log at a given stage, in the given, how we are mentioning content type, body, all these things, when you provide here, it will log your request information. Okay. So I don't want all information. I want only body. Okay. So I'll copy paste the same thing. I will copy paste same thing here. But I do not want to log everything. I want only body. So then you need to mention instead of all, just log.body. Instead of log.all, I'll mention log.body. That's it. That is the only change I do. And when you run this, you see that it only prints body. Previously, it is to print what is that post method, what is the URI, what are cookies, query parameters, path parameters, everything it was printing when you use log.all. But when you say log.body, so it is only printing log.body. Okay. This is how you can print all information or only body information in the request. Okay. So I want to print all response. Okay. I want to print all response. So here what I'll take. So rest assured dot given. So I am not providing anything. So dot when in the when dot get. So I'll mention the URL here, and then okay, then let me take the URL first. So I'm taking this URL fakestoryapi.com/products. Okay, then here you can say log.all. Okay, log.all means after getting the response, I want to log that response information, a full information. Okay, for this get method. Then means response, right? After when you will get the response, so then I need to log everything from the response, log.all. So when you run this, you will get the response apart from other information also. You see, this is the entire body. And if you go top, you see the status code is 200, the date when you performed, content type is JSON, character set, and connection keep alive, and other information along, and then the body of the response. Okay, body of the response. So these are all header information. These are all header information, and this is body. Okay, this is how you can log everything from the response. But I want only body. Okay, and let me copy paste the same thing. I want only body. So you just mention log dot body instead of all. You just mention body. That's it. That is the only change you need to do. And this is also at the level of response. After getting the response, this is what I want to log only body. Okay, run. So if you go top, you will not see that header information only. It is logging from here only, that body information only. Okay, this is how you can log body and body, right? Now you can log headers. Okay, you can log headers. So let me copy this one. Same thing. Instead of body, you can say only headers. Here, header and body both dot all means. Here only body. Here only headers. So let me run this. Now you will see only header information, not the 20 products which we are seeing. You see that? Date, content type, connection, all these things. Only header information it is providing. So whatever you want, you can log only that information. Okay. I want to get only status code. I don't need anything else. Okay. Let me take the same thing. Okay. So here I want only status code. So you can say log dot status. Okay. I want only status information, not all the information, not body, not headers. Okay. Then just run. Now you'll see it will print only status code 200. Okay. You see that? Only status information 200. Okay. So this is how you can log the status information. And then next, cookies information. Okay. So Let me take this. Okay. Instead of status, let's say log.cookies. Okay. So let me run this. So it's not printing anything. The reason is there is no cookies information. Okay. So if you have anything, it will come. And you can perform the same thing at here also. Log.request level also. Cookies dot. So at the response level, and request level, this is request level, this is response level. If you run this now, just an example how it will looks like. You see that in the request level, cookies none. At the response level, I do not have any cookies. It is not printing. But if you have any cookies, you can log your cookies by using this request cookies. This is response cookies. Okay. This is how you can log cookies information. So sometimes if some validation fails, then only I want to print something. Okay. So let me take same information. So let me format a little bit. This time I want to take some other URL. Okay. So no cookies. So when request response .in /API/user, I want page 2 information, and in that page I want to print only one object. Okay. So here log dot, what I'm talking about, if validation fails. Okay. If validation fails, then status code. So when you say get method, this is 200, right? Given when, then when you perform get, what is that? Just it will return the information, and the status code is 200. So nothing wrong in this. Okay. So if you run this now, so nothing. It is not logging anything. The reason is if validation fails, but I'm expecting 200, I got 200. So there is no failure. Because of that, I'm not logging anything. Okay. So it will not work. The reason is there is no validation fails. So what I'll do, I'll change it to 201. Okay. Now the validation fails. Right. Whatever I'm looking for the validation, that fails. When it fails, what it will do, we'll see. Now it will log the information. You see, it failed because of that. If you go up, you see that status code, header information, and the body information, everything it is printing. When if the validation fails. Okay. So same way, I'll copy here. Here, again, you can filter this. How you can filter? Inside this, inside the method log detail, we have a enum only body. If validation fails, I want to print only body, not all the information. That is also possible. If you run now it will print only body, not HTTP status code, headers, nothing. You see, only body information. Okay. And the same way, I want to print what? I don't want to print body. I want to print headers. Then run. If the validation fails, then it will print only header information. You see, now only header information. There is no status code, and it is saying state expected 201, but was 200. Okay. In the same way, you can print the status code also. Log detail dot status. Okay. If you run now, it will print only status code. You see that it is printing only status code. Okay. In the same way, you have log dot, you have log detail dot all means it is equal to if log details this first one, if validation fails also prints all right the same way, and you can cookies, params, URI, something like that you can print. Okay, according to your requirement, whatever you want, you can print. This is how you can print, you can log information if the validation fails. Okay, so if there is any error, then I want to print. I want to log that information. Print means you are logging the information. So for that, what I'll do, so I'll take almost same thing. So, but I am looking for what? If there is any failure. Okay. So here, what I'll take, the URL I'll take one wrong URL, means that resource is not exist. That kind of thing I'll take. Okay, this is the one. Request s.in slash API slash unknown 23, something like that. Okay, and then log dot if error, how it will do, then I'll say status code. Sorry, status code 200. Okay, normally if everything goes fine, you will get 200. So nothing wrong, but this is not correct one. So there is an error. So because of that, it will log the information. You see that? So status code is 404. Okay. So, but you are expecting 200. There is an error. The reason is the endpoint is not correct. Okay. This endpoint is not correct. So there is an error because of that. If you say 404, if you change it to 404, so there is no this kind of endpoint. You are expecting 404 and you are giving the 404. Both are matching. So there is no error. So it will not log anything. Run. Now simply passes this one. Still failing. But it is not giving that error information. 404 not found, it is telling, but there is no. So if you change 200, now it is printing assertion error also. You see that expected all these things. But if it is anything failure, if any failure, it is logging. So then let me check this one. I don't want to even check status code. Run. Okay. So even then also it is printing. So it doesn't depends upon the status code, any validation. If this URI is not available, so because of that, it is giving, means it is giving that log information as this is a error. Okay. So there is nothing to do with status code. If your endpoint is not correct, so then it will log error. If this endpoint is correct, then it will not log. So let me take this one for some time. And this is a valid endpoint. So if this is valid endpoint, because of that, it should not print anything. Means it should not log anything. You see, it is not logging anything. But if I go back to Control Z, so this endpoint is not there. So then it will log that information. You see, now if there is an error, it will log the information. Okay, this is how we can work with that. And then status code. Okay, let me take the same thing. This one. Okay, then log dot if status code equal to 200. Okay, So here this is correct endpoint. I'm getting the 200. I'm expecting also 200. If it is equal to 200, if status code is equals to 200, then log the information. Okay. So run. Obviously, you'll get the 200. Then it will log the information. You see that? It is logging all the information. But if the status code is not equal, I'm saying 201. But here I'll definitely get 200. But I'm expecting if status code is equal to 201, then only log. If the status code is 200, don't log. So now both are not matching, then it will not log anything. You see that? It is not printing anything. It is not logging anything. Okay. So if status code is equal to 200, I'm getting 200, I'm equaling also 200, then it will log that information. But if now it will give 200, but it is 201, both are not matching. So this condition is not matching. So it will not log any information. Okay. So this is how you can log different type of information while you performing a API testing. So with the help of all these things, you can verify, you can debug, you can verify all these APIs. Okay. So this is all about logging in REST Assured. So that's all in this video. Thank you for watching this video. Please like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for interesting updates. Thank you.